Hi everyone, and welcome to this mastermind for optimizing your nutrition as a woman. So I posted on my story a little while back on what you guys would like to learn the most about, and this was number 1. So I would love to share just some overall tips on how to optimize your nutrition throughout the month as a woman. So as a woman, you probably know that we are cyclical beings, which means that we have hormone cycles that determine what our bodies need, and also, what our emotions are going to be like, and what our gut is going to need, and what our body is going to need throughout the month. So it is super important to listen to our body's needs so that we don't have PMS and the emotional roller coaster and different symptoms that often come with having hormonal imbalances. So I just want to give a little overview of what the 4 phases of the menstrual cycle look like. So you of course have your period, which is your menstrual part of the cycle. And that is where your hormones, estrogen and progesterone and testosterone, are the lowest. And that causes our uterus to shed its lining and thus bleed during our period. And during this time, it is super important to honor our body and to honor the need for rest. So I usually try to really think of our menstrual phase as a phase of rebirth and a phase of releasing and letting go of the past month. So our body's literally detoxing and letting go and shedding our uterine lining. So not only are we energetically letting go, but physically we are letting go of a part of our body, which is our blood. So during this phase, the menstrual phase, it is super important to just see it for what it is instead of, getting upset that you have to slow down or, maybe rest a little bit more or eat different foods or, really nourish your body so that you don't have the PMS symptoms like cramping or bloating or other uncomfortable symptoms. And then we also have the follicular phase. So this is the phase right after menstruation and right before ovulation. So I like to think of the follicular phase as the kind of like getting ready phase before ovulation. So our ovaries will begin to build these follicles, which eventually one will hold an egg that's released during ovulation. So during the follicular phase, it is very important to really support the body with just amazing nutrition that's going to support our estrogen, and so that we have a healthy ovulation. So this can look like eating fermented foods or like things like kombucha or kimchi. Broccoli is amazing, but we need these foods that are going to help with really metabolizing estrogen so that during ovulation our estrogen can be released and we have that normal rise of estrogen during ovulation. So I hope I'm not getting too technical, but what would be wonderful to eat during this time is just leafy greens and more fermented foods, really focusing on preparing your body for ovulation. And I failed to mention, during menstruation, it's really important to rest and to only do, slow movement like walking or yin yoga. And then during the follicular phase, you're getting a little bit more energy. So it's, safer to do maybe like Pilates or a little bit of cardio, just to kind of go easy on your body. And then in ovulation, which is the next part of the menstrual cycle, that's when your estrogen is going to be highest and also your testosterone. So your body's going to have a lot more energy, you're going to feel so much more outgoing, and you're just going to want to really be this bubbly, extroverted self. So it's a great time to be creative. And also during this time, it's really, really important to just make sure that you are, again, supporting your liver and, again, eating antioxidant rich foods like blueberries and, again, broccoli or other dark leafy greens that are going to support the liver to really metabolize and break down that estrogen. Because when we have high estrogen, that can build up in our system. It actually causes more PMS symptoms. So it's really important to make sure that we're eating our vegetables throughout the entire cycle, but especially during ovulation. So ovulation is, of course, probably a fan favorite time of the month. It's my favorite. I love just feeling more sexy and just feeling more embodied and confident because I feel amazing. My skin is glowing, which is, just what normally happens for women who are, really cycle syncing their life. So then in the phase after that, that's the luteal phase. So during this phase, your body is preparing to shed your uterine lining. So this is the week and a half that women usually experience some PMS symptoms leading up to their menstrual cycle. So that can look like mood swings, bloating, just changes in your digestion, and it can be if your hormones are imbalanced and your progesterone levels are not rising like they should, then it can be a time where you might feel super, just low energy-wise and mood-wise. And so it's super important to support the body through nutrition and also movement. So during this period, I love to eat dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate at all times of the month, but it's always my excuse that, okay, it's the week before my period, I can eat all the dark chocolate I want, because our bodies are craving magnesium. So we can get magnesium through dark chocolate or avocados. You can take supplements if you like. Pumpkin seeds are amazing. And so really important to build up that magnesium and then also support our brain because you can feel kind of low. So building up your serotonin with leafy greens again, or quinoa or buckwheat is amazing as well. So those are all like my favorite foods kind of leading up to my cycle. But yeah, that's a little bit about syncing your food selection to your cycle. But now I'm going to go over just kind of how to eat throughout your day at any time of the month. So as a woman, it is really important that our bodies don't ever go into starvation mode. Since we are not like men and our cycle and our hormones are always changing, it's really important to continually support our body and our hormones. So this definitely looks more like eating when you feel like it and being more intuitive with your body instead of doing the fasting and doing things like, cutting out breakfast. So that's a big no-no. And eating the same thing over and over every single day to reach a fitness goal. And those types of practices can be good for a short amount of time, but in the long term, most of the time they are going to be detrimental to your hormones as a woman. So optimally, how you should be eating during a day is definitely eating within an hour to 2 hours after you wake up in the morning, and making sure that what you eat in the morning is a very balanced breakfast. So it doesn't have to be big, but something that's going to balance your blood sugar. So this means eating something that is going to have a healthy fat and a protein in it, and not something that's going to be sugary or full of carbs, because breakfast is the most important meal of your day, hands down. And I know we've probably heard that our whole life, but it is the truth, especially for women. So, because what you eat in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. So if you're balancing your blood sugar first thing in the morning, you're less likely to have these ups and downs with your blood sugar, which correlates to your mood and your emotions. And we literally filter our world by our blood sugar regulation and our nervous system, which are so interconnected. So it's really important to maybe have, if you don't like a big breakfast, maybe having like a handful of nuts with half an avocado, or making yourself a couple of eggs with an avocado, or having some organic chicken sausages with an egg and some fruit and spinach if you like to have a bigger breakfast. Or if you do have a smoothie, making sure that there's protein and a healthy fat like almond butter or peanut butter in there as well. That way, instead of starting your morning with a mango coconut water smoothie, which is going to send your blood sugar spiking and then crashing at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., adding in just a healthy fat will really help to sustain your blood sugar throughout the rest of the day. So that is, if I could give you one tip for optimizing your nutrition as a woman, that would be number one. And then number two is definitely eating when you are hungry and not starving yourself. So having a nice little bag of nuts, or bringing some carrots and hummus with you, or I'm the queen of snacks, so just having some sort of snack with you throughout the day while you're at work or doing anything is really important to make sure that your body does not go into starvation and that your blood sugar stays balanced. So those are two huge tips, and there's so many other things I could tell you guys about how to optimize your nutrition as a woman, but that is pretty much in a nutshell how to really optimize your nutrition to sync with your cycle, and then also to make sure as a woman you are supporting your blood sugar and balancing your hormones just day to day. If you would like a meal plan or to go deeper on any of these topics, I would love to share more. But this is just a short little masterclass that I hope will help you on your nutrition journey. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I send you the biggest hug and healing vibes, and I love you. Mwah.